If you own this coin, you might be the luckiest person in the world. Instant suspense makes viewers feel they might hold a treasure in their own hands and builds curiosity about its value. Perfect for opening with a close-up of the coin glinting in the light. If you have this coin in your hand, you might just be the luckiest person in the world, holding a piece of history that whispers stories from one of America's most iconic eras. The 1973 John F. Kennedy half-dollar is not just any coin. It is a tangible link to a president whose life and legacy shaped a generation. Imagine the weight of history in your palm, a coin that embodies the dreams, ambitions, and tragic endings of a man who still captivates the imagination of millions. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, following the shocking assassination of John F. Kennedy in 1963, and it quickly became one of the most sought-after coins in modern American numismatics. By 1973, collectors were already aware that these coins held a unique combination of history, artistry, and rarity that made them stand out from the standard circulation coins of the day. Holding a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar isn't just holding currency. It's holding a story, a moment frozen in metal, a tribute to a presidency that ended far too soon. The design of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is both symbolic and deeply personal. On the obverse, or front, of the coin, we see the striking profile of John F. Kennedy, captured in exquisite detail by the designer Gilroy Roberts. Every line on Kennedy's face, from the subtle curve of his jaw to the determined gaze in his eyes, tells a story of charisma, leadership, and a promise unfulfilled. This portrait was based on a photograph taken during Kennedy's presidency, chosen specifically to honor his youthful energy and enduring legacy. On the reverse, the coin features the presidential coat of arms, designed by Frank Gasparo, with a heraldic eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows. This image is more than decorative. It symbolizes the balance of peace and strength, echoing the challenges Kennedy faced during his time in office. The intricate details, from the feathers on the eagle to the stars encircling it, make the Kennedy half-dollar a piece of art as well as currency. For collectors, every scratch, every mint mark, every nuance of strike quality matters, making the 1973 issue a fascinating study in subtle variations that can affect its value immensely. In 1973, the Kennedy half-dollar was still being produced for both circulation and collectors. Unlike the earlier 1964 coins, which were struck in 90% silver, the 1973 issue was composed of a copper-nickel clad, making it more accessible yet still highly collectible. The minting process itself was precise, with careful attention to detail to ensure that Kennedy's likeness remained sharp and clear. Coins from this year can carry subtle differences depending on the mint where they were produced, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, with the S mint mark for proof coins being particularly sought after by collectors. Proof coins, struck with a mirrored finish and sharper detail, often sell for significantly more, especially when in pristine condition with no signs of wear. Imagine holding a coin that, while small in size, has the power to evoke memories of the 1970s, the post-Vietnam era, and a country still reeling from the shocks of the previous decade, all while honoring a president whose ideals still resonate today. What makes the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar truly extraordinary is not just its design, but its place in the story of coin collecting. By the 1970s, coin collectors were increasingly aware of the significance of the Kennedy half-dollar, both historically and economically. Many collectors began storing them carefully, watching the rise in interest and value over the years. Condition, rarity, and mint mark all played crucial roles in determining a coin's worth. For example, a pristine proof coin with a sharp S mint mark could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today, while a circulated coin, still beautiful and meaningful, might fetch a more modest sum. But the real magic happens when you find an exceptionally well-preserved coin in an unexpected place, a drawer, a jar, or a forgotten collection. If you have one of these, you are not just lucky. You are holding a treasure that connects you directly to a pivotal chapter of American history. Collectors often marvel at the Kennedy half-dollar's appeal because it transcends simple numismatic interest. It's a coin that tells a story, that provokes curiosity, and that carries an emotional resonance unlike almost any other modern coin. People are drawn to it not just for its face value, but for its connection to a moment in time, a president who inspired hope, and a society that was rapidly changing. The 1973 edition, in particular, sits at an intersection of history and accessibility. While earlier 1960s silver coins are often prohibitively expensive for casual collectors, the 1973 coin offers a tangible way to own a piece of the Kennedy legacy without breaking the bank, though certain rare examples can still command astonishing prices. Imagine the thrill of showing friends or family a coin that represents courage, leadership, and a nation's collective memory, all in a small, shining piece of metal. Even seasoned collectors often overlook the subtle details that make the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar remarkable. The slight variations in the strike, the sharpness of the details, and the presence or absence of tiny imperfections can make a world of difference. Coins that have been stored properly, away from moisture and handling, can maintain their luster and brilliance for decades, making them the crown jewels of any collection. Some coins were produced in limited quantities for special sets, such as the proof sets issued by the U.S. Mint, which are especially coveted. Owning one of these proof coins is akin to owning a piece of a carefully curated museum collection, a tangible artifact that has been preserved almost perfectly through time. And now, the most thrilling part, the value. While face value is 50 cents, the real worth of a 1973 John F. Kennedy half-dollar, especially in pristine or rare condition, is astonishing. Collectors and investors alike have recognized the potential of these coins to appreciate over time, and exceptional specimens have fetched prices that seem almost unbelievable. Some rare proof coins, or coins with unique minting errors, have been known to reach values upwards of $80,000 at auction, transforming what once seemed like spare change into a veritable fortune. The excitement, the suspense, and the sheer joy of realizing that you might be holding one of these extraordinary coins is indescribable. If you have this coin in your collection, in your possession, or even tucked away in a forgotten drawer, you could very well be holding a treasure that represents not just history, but incredible monetary value. This coin isn't just for collectors. It's for dreamers, historians, and anyone who appreciates the power of a small object to tell a monumental story. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar invites you to imagine the world of the early 1970s, the lives of those who circulated these coins, and the legacy of a president whose image continues to inspire. Every glance at the coin sparks curiosity, every shine evokes wonder, and every story shared about it connects generations. The thrill of owning such a coin is not only in its design or its rarity, but in the profound sense of connection it offers to history. It is a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry the weight of a nation's memory, and the joy of discovering one in excellent condition is unparalleled. So, if you have this coin, cherish it, hold it, examine it, and imagine the history it represents. The 1973 John F. Kennedy half-dollar is more than currency. It is a testament to a president's enduring legacy, to the artistry of American coinage, and to the excitement and passion of collectors who have pursued it for decades. And as the final, exhilarating reveal, certain examples of this coin, preserved in perfect condition, with proof quality or rare minting details, can reach staggering values at auction, climbing as high as $80,000, transforming a humble half-dollar into one of the most coveted coins in modern American numismatics. If you hold one, you truly might be the luckiest person in the world. A coin like this doesn't just tell history. It makes history, and owning it is an experience that combines fascination, admiration, and a touch of unimaginable fortune. Every collector dreams of finding a coin like this, and if you already have it, you are living that dream. If you have this coin in your hand, you might be holding one of the most extraordinary pieces of American history ever struck. A coin that celebrates both the birth of a nation and the enduring legacy of one of its most beloved presidents. The 1776 to 1976 John F. Kennedy bicentennial half-dollar is far more than currency. It is a bridge between two monumental chapters of history, a coin that commemorates 200 years of American independence while honoring a president whose life and vision continue to inspire generations. Just imagine holding a small piece of metal that carries the weight of centuries, the ideals of freedom, and the charisma of John F. Kennedy, all at once. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, this coin is not merely a collectible. It is a treasure, a story frozen in silver and copper nickel that connects you directly to the dreams and struggles of a nation. The design of this bicentennial coin is extraordinary and unique, standing apart from all other Kennedy half dollars. On the obverse, it retains the familiar and striking portrait of John F. Kennedy, the work of Gilroy Roberts, capturing the essence of the president's youthful optimism, determined gaze, and enduring charm. But it is the reverse that truly sets this coin apart. Instead of the usual presidential eagle, the coin features a dynamic and symbolic dual design by Seth Huntington, a colonial drummer, representing the spirit and struggle of 1776, marches boldly forward, while a modern eagle with outstretched wings soars above, symbolizing the enduring strength and freedom of the United States. Encircling this compelling scene are 13 stars, a nod to the original 13 colonies that fought for independence, reminding anyone who holds the coin of the sacrifices that forged the nation. The artistry of this design is breathtaking, with meticulous attention to detail that captures movement, purpose, and pride. For those who appreciate coins as miniature works of art, the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar is nothing short of spectacular. Minted in 1975 and 1976 to celebrate the nation's bicentennial, these coins were produced in large numbers by the U.S. Mint at Philadelphia and Denver, with some special proof sets coming from San Francisco. While millions of these coins were intended for circulation, many were preserved by collectors, recognizing that this would be a coin of historical significance. The bicentennial issue was struck in the standard copper-nickel-clad composition for circulation coins, but special collector sets included 40% silver versions, which are particularly prized today. Condition, mint mark, and composition are key factors that determine a coin's value, and those lucky enough to possess a high-grade proof or silver version are often astounded by the worth of their find. If you have this coin in your collection, especially a pristine silver proof, you could very well be holding a treasure that far exceeds its humble face value of 50 cents. The story of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar is intertwined with American history in more ways than one. It was issued at a time when the country was celebrating its 200th birthday and patriotism was at a high point, yet it also carried the shadow of a tragic past. Kennedy's assassination in 1963 had left a nation in mourning, and the half dollar bearing his likeness had already become a symbol of remembrance and respect. The bicentennial issue merged these two powerful narratives, celebration and remembrance, into a coin that was both functional and profoundly meaningful. Imagine the pride of the American public as they handled this coin in daily life, unknowingly participating in a tradition that would turn ordinary currency into collectible treasures over time. Collectors have long recognized the allure of this bicentennial issue, not only for its beauty, but for the opportunities it presents in the world of numismatics. Variations in strike quality, proof finishes, and the presence of silver make some coins more desirable than others. Proof coins, struck with extra care to achieve a mirror-like finish and sharp detail, are particularly valuable, while silver-clad versions add a tangible weight of precious metal to the story. Even circulated coins can hold charm and significance, as the subtle where tells a story of daily life in 1976, when the country was celebrating a historic milestone. Each coin carries with it a narrative, whether of a proud patriot, a careful collector, or a family that saved it as a keepsake. Holding a coin like this is like holding a moment in time, and for those who stumble upon an exceptionally preserved example today, the thrill is unparalleled. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar also offers fascinating insight into the minting techniques and artistry of the era. Struck with precision at multiple U.S. mint locations, each coin carries tiny variations and details that can fascinate the most seasoned collectors. From the sharpness of the drummer's drum to the feathers on the eagle, every element of the design reflects careful craftsmanship. Coins preserved in pristine condition, especially silver-proof examples, are considered the crown jewels of any collection. Imagine discovering a coin with perfect detail, no scratches, and a brilliant mirror finish. The feeling is akin to holding a piece of history in its purest, most perfect form. If you have such a coin, you truly are one of the luckiest people in the world, holding not just currency, but a story, a legacy, and a work of art all at once. Now comes the part that truly elevates excitement for collectors, the value. While most 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollars minted for circulation are modestly priced, special versions, particularly silver proofs or high-grade examples, can command prices that defy expectations. Coins that have been preserved perfectly, with no signs of wear and full luster, have been known to reach several $1,000s, and rare errors or uniquely struck coins can achieve even higher valuations. The thrill of holding such a coin is undeniable. What started as a 50-cent piece can, under the right conditions, transform into a prized collectible worth a small fortune. If you find yourself in possession of one of these special coins, you are not just lucky. You are holding a treasure that tells history, inspires curiosity, and carries real, tangible value. This coin also serves as a reminder of how numismatics connects us to the past, to stories larger than ourselves. Every time you gaze at the colonial drummer or the soaring eagle, you are reminded of the courage, determination, and hope that shaped a nation. Every glance at Kennedy's familiar profile evokes reflection on a president whose ideals, speeches, and vision continue to resonate decades after his death. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar is more than a coin. It is a conversation starter, an heirloom, a history lesson, and a work of art, all in one small, perfectly struck package. Collectors, historians, and everyday people alike are drawn to its story, its beauty, and its promise of discovery. And for those who happen to have a silver proof or rare error coin, the excitement is amplified, knowing that this small piece of metal may be one of the most valuable coins from the bicentennial series. And finally, the ultimate thrill for collectors. If you have this coin, especially a silver proof in perfect condition, you could be holding a piece worth tens of thousands of dollars today. Auctions have shown that rare, high-grade examples can command extraordinary sums, transforming a coin that once circulated for everyday transactions into a collector's dream. Just imagine the exhilaration of realizing that a coin you may have inherited, found, or collected decades ago is now an incredibly valuable artifact, connecting you to history and offering a tangible fortune at the same time. If you have this 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, you are not just lucky. You are holding a symbol of freedom, a tribute to a beloved president, and one of the most desirable coins in modern American numismatics. Every scratch, every shine, every detail tells a story, and in the case of this coin, that story is priceless. So, if you have this coin in your collection, hold it close, because you might just be the luckiest person in the world. This isn't just a 50-cent piece. It's a piece of history, a tribute to a president who inspired millions, and a symbol of America's 200-year journey of freedom. Every detail, from Kennedy's striking profile to the colonial drummer and soaring eagle on the reverse, tells a story that connects past and present. Whether it's a silver proof, a rare mint error, or a perfectly preserved circulation coin, this half-dollar has the power to captivate, to inspire, and yes, to surprise you with its incredible value. Remember, treasures like this don't come along often, and if you are lucky enough to have one, you're holding more than a coin. You're holding history in the palm of your hand. Cherish it, protect it, and maybe one day, the world will recognize what you already know. Some coins aren't just currency, they're priceless. If you have this coin in your hands, you could very well be holding one of the most captivating pieces of modern American numismatics, a coin that carries not just silver and metal, but the weight of history and the memory of a president whose legacy still inspires millions. The 1982 John F. Kennedy half-dollar is far more than currency. It is a tribute, a collectible, and a tangible piece of American heritage all at once. Imagine holding a coin that connects you to the era of the early 1980s, a time when the United States was navigating change, growth, and reflection on its past leaders, while celebrating the enduring legacy of one of the nation's most iconic presidents. This coin is not just a half-dollar. It is a story waiting to be told, a story you are lucky enough to hold in your hand. The design of the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar is both familiar and iconic, carrying forward the masterful work of Gilroy Roberts, whose portrait captures the youthful, confident profile of John F. Kennedy. His strong jawline, determined gaze, and composed expression remain instantly recognizable to collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential eagle with wings outstretched, clutching arrows and an olive branch, a powerful symbol of peace and strength. Every detail, from the intricate feathers on the eagle to the precise lettering around the rim, reflects a craftsmanship that has made the Kennedy half-dollar one of the most admired modern coins. While some may see it as ordinary currency, collectors know that each 1982 coin is part of a legacy that began in 1964, just after Kennedy's tragic assassination, making it a coin that carries both history and emotion. Minted in Philadelphia and Denver, the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar was produced primarily for circulation, but many were set aside by collectors who recognized its significance. Unlike the 1964 silver issues, the 1982 coins were composed of copper-nickel clad, making them more accessible but still highly collectible, especially in uncirculated or proof condition. Proof coins, struck with extra care at the San Francisco Mint, offer a mirror-like finish and crisp detail that elevate their desirability. Variations between mints, such as subtle differences in strikes, letter spacing, or luster, can make a world of difference to collectors, turning an ordinary circulation coin into a sought-after treasure. For those who have preserved their coins carefully, perhaps tucked away in a collection or forgotten in a drawer, the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar offers both historical significance and the potential for impressive value. Collectors are drawn to this coin not just for its artistry, but for the narrative it carries. The Kennedy half-dollar series is one of the few modern coins that truly blends history, beauty, and collectability. Each glance at the coin reminds you of the vision, charisma, and enduring impact of John F. Kennedy, while also reflecting the social and economic context of the early 1980s. Coins from this period are often overlooked by casual collectors, but those who understand the series' significance know that condition is key. Uncirculated coins, especially those with brilliant luster or proof coins in special collector sets, can be worth significantly more than face value. And for the most fortunate collectors, rare variations, errors, or exceptionally preserved specimens can fetch astounding sums in the numismatic market. If you have one of these coins, you are not just lucky. You are holding a treasure that bridges history, artistry, and value. The excitement of owning a 1982 Kennedy half-dollar increases when you consider the nuances of minting. The San Francisco proofs, for example, were struck with a higher level of precision, creating sharper details and a reflective, mirror-like finish that sets them apart from regular circulation coins. Even small differences in strike quality or surface preservation can make a huge difference to collectors. Some coins from this year were included in special proof sets or mint sets, making them highly desirable decades later. Imagine discovering a coin in perfect condition, its luster untouched by circulation, the details crisp and brilliant. The thrill is unmatched. For those who collect, study, or simply admire the artistry of coins, the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar is a gem, a story frozen in metal, and a piece of American history that you can hold, examine, and cherish. Now, let's talk about the value, which is where the excitement truly peaks. While most 1982 Kennedy half-dollars minted for circulation are modestly priced, coins that are uncirculated, part of proof sets, or in exceptional condition can command impressive sums. Rare minting variations, or coins with unique strike characteristics, can increase value even further. Some high-grade examples have been known to reach several $1,000s among collectors, transforming what was once ordinary pocket change into a treasure with significant financial and historical worth. The idea that a simple half-dollar could hold such potential is thrilling, and for anyone who has this coin in their possession, the feeling of holding history and a potentially valuable asset at the same time is unmatched. If you have this coin, you are truly one of the luckiest people in the world, holding not just currency, but a piece of legacy and a connection to one of America's most revered presidents. Beyond value, this coin tells a story. Each Kennedy half-dollar from 1982 connects you to a lineage of coins that began in the 1960s, honoring a man whose life and leadership continue to inspire. It reminds us of the post-Vietnam era, the economic shifts of the 1980s, and the continued fascination with Kennedy's enduring legacy. Whether you are a collector, a history enthusiast, or someone who simply appreciates beautiful coins, the 1982 Kennedy half-dollar offers a blend of artistry, storytelling, and tangible history that few other coins can match. It's a coin that invites admiration, sparks conversation, and rewards careful preservation. In the end, if you have this coin, treasure it. Examine the details, appreciate the artistry, and reflect on the history it represents. The 1982 John F. Kennedy half-dollar is more than a 50-cent piece. It is a symbol, a collectible, and a potential treasure. For those who have preserved it in excellent condition or discovered it unexpectedly, the excitement is immense, knowing that this coin could be worth far more than anyone might imagine. From its iconic design to its place in American history, this coin captivates collectors and historians alike. And the ultimate thrill? Exceptional examples, rare proofs, or coins with unique characteristics can fetch remarkable prices at auction, making a small coin in your hand a piece of fortune, history, and legacy all at once. If you have this coin, you are not just lucky. You are holding a small, shining piece of history. And in that, there is nothing more priceless. So, if you have this coin in your hands, hold it carefully, because you might just be the luckiest person in the world. This isn't just a 50-cent piece. It's a piece of American history, a tribute to one of the nation's most iconic presidents, and a symbol of enduring legacy. Every detail, from Kennedy's striking profile to the eagle on the reverse, tells a story that connects past and present. Whether it's a high-grade proof, an uncirculated gem, or even a unique minting variation, this half-dollar has the power to captivate, inspire, and surprise you with its value. Remember, coins like this aren't just currency. They're treasures, and if you have one, you're holding history in the palm of your hand. Cherish it, protect it, and let it remind you that sometimes the smallest objects can carry the greatest stories.